Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Vegan Outreach, and there are several ways you can help me, help them, help the animals. First, donate to our fundraiser here on Twitch. We've raised 10 out of $10 thanks to a single donation from Wolf Axe 2, but we can still exceed that goal, so please donate if you can. And if you can't, no worries. Just watch my streams. This is the last week I'll be streaming this month. And bring your friends, because I'll be making my own donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count on Twitch. You can also find links to Vegan Outreach in the chat, in my Twitch description, in the YouTube description if you're watching this as the recording later. And you can donate directly there and just find out more about them. It is Thursday, which means it's time for some more illustration work. We just finished a project yesterday, so today we are going back to this much bigger, more involved project, my Onomatopoeia Bees piece. And it's gonna just get one day of work this month because February is a short month. So I have my sketches here from last time where I used some tracing paper to add more bees to the scene and flowers, and the speech bubbles in the main two bees are visible here. And so this was what I ended up with, and it's been a couple weeks or a few weeks, and I still feel really happy looking at this. I think that this is the way to go with this top-down view. That's something we've only done once so far, I think, in our entire Animal Onomatopoeia Animal Onomatopoeia series, which eventually I hope to get published as an art book that also teaches you either English or Japanese animal onomatopoeia. So the angle is nice because it's different, but it also isn't dissatisfying visually, because what I was working on before I couldn't get it to work. This I feel works nicer because we need the bees to be flying so their wings are moving, and that's where the buzzing comes from. They don't make that sound with vocal organs. They use their wings, and that's how they make that sound. I mean, they might not even be making it on purpose because it's probably similar to the way we humans make a footstep sound when we walk. It's just how we get around, and we make the sound just because it comes along with the action. Anyway, so I'm satisfied in multiple different ways. The overall pattern we've got with these different flowers. I think I was going to be using thistles. I'll have to look at my notes, but I'm pretty sure I wanted to be using thistles for the flowers, as I looked up what the particular bee I'm going to be using as my reference. One of the flowers they like is thistles. And the bees are the Hunt's bumblebee. So all we need to do is get going on the main sketch, I think. So that's pretty exciting to move on to a huge step. We're finally done. Unless I'm forgetting something, we are finally done with brainstorming and research. And we're on stream number 7. Yeah, we're on part 7 of this, so it took a long time to get to that point. Okay, so I'm just seeing, what do I need? I don't think I need this. This is more for this kind of work. So I'm just going to set this completely off to the side. I think I shall need this. It's my main sketch kit. I will double check here. This folder has all of my work from this series of illustrations. So I can I'll just look at the most recent one that I finished, which is the cows. I'm gonna get my sketch stuff out from there. I also have some bees stuff in here. But what did I use? So these are my thumbnail sketches, along with a accidentally printed gift certificate on this piece of paper. Didn't mean to print it on that paper. So these are sketches from my sketchbook, figuring out what cows look like and how to cheapify them. So we're past this point for the bees. Ah, okay, I see what I did. And handily, past me, wrote very convenient things on here like surface, Aqua Bee manga artist pad, 110 pounds. So I know what kind of paper I was using. And I even wrote the correct ratio, so eventually these will be 17 by 11 inches in size when they're completely finished. But for the lines, which I am doing in ink, not digital, the rest is digital, it's 12.75 by 8.25 inches. So that's the same ratio, but a little smaller, so it goes by a little faster. I don't need to get any really super big paper in order to fit it. And it also even saves me ink because I'm not drawing as big. This is the pens I was using for inking, but I wonder if I have all of these. I might have to. I might have to do something else for the inking. But we're not to the inking stage yet, so that's okay. I can see that I used my blue pencil and my blue pen to get this done. So first I'll get the paper out that I need. So to start, I will just set my folder down. I've got to go around the back of my desk, so my voice might get a bit quiet because now I'm behind my mic. But I need the Aqua Bee manga paper in 110 pounds. Okay, this is it. This is it. So I need 2 sheets of this. We're going to tape them together. I decided to do that for multiple reasons. First, I had all this paper, and it's way easier to use something that I already have than to go shopping for something and also spend money when I have tons of paper already. So one, it was a very practical thing. Save money, save time. Then 2, so you can see it's already folding like a book. Of course it folds the other way, but it folds, which means I can see where the gutter is going to be. So I can try to avoid as much as possible putting anything too important in the gutter. And then the third reason that I realized after the fact was that this allows me to store it in this folder with everything else. This is 8.5 by 11, just like my sketchbook, my favorite sketchbook. So it all fits in this nice folder, which is 8.5 by 11 folder. So it's perfect. So many reasons to use this paper. Plus, I just love this paper. It's a this nice, super smooth surface. So 1. And I've actually done so many of these now that what I'm pulling the paper from is actually the second pad of this paper. I was so excited when I saw it that I just bought 2, even though I didn't need to. I didn't have any plans for using it up, but after all these years, finally used up the first one and on to the second one, mostly thanks to this project. Okay, I'm just putting that away. It's way easier to just put it away now instead of later. Oh, Aoife's snoring. Aoife is my big dog. She's sleeping to the right of the desk. No, it's to the right as I was standing just then. It's to the left this way. So my left. She's under the desk over there. Okay, next I got my artist tape out. So I'm going to move this. I'm going to move it because these ones are cows. Move. Okay, next we're going to tape this. I'm gonna put my sketch up ways. Ah, sorry, that's hitting the mic. Let me move the mic back a little bit. So what I'm trying to do is make space for me to tape these sheets together. And it'd be great if I can set my clipboard up. Let me show you with the tertiary camera. So this is my workspace here in front of me. And okay, so this is my point of view. I've got the tape and my papers ready to be taped, so I have room to do that. But then also, this is just sitting up looking at me so I can glance at it at any time to see what my sketch looks like so that I can get the final drawing done. I'll try to get this camera to look at it so you can also see. Oh, it's very far away though. It's hard for it to see. If I put it here. Oh, that's all right. There. For now, we'll just have it like that. And now time to tape these sheets of paper together. Because it's this really super smooth paper, the front and the back is almost identical. So what I'm going to do is look which side has the least amount of inclusions, because paper just naturally has little fibers that are slightly different color and maybe little dots here and there. They actually look about the same. This one has a couple of fairly strong dots on that side. I guess this one has less, so we'll use this side as the front for this sheet. There's a few here, not too strong. And this sheet really seems equal. It doesn't seem to matter that much which side. There's just as many little inclusions. So I'm going to flip them over because I've decided which sides I want to use. So we're going to tape it on the back. So I have lined the paper up to the best of my ability. Oh, I just remembered another reason I did it this way. It's not a problem for me anymore because as a graduation present I received a wonderful large format scanner. But when I started this project I was still in school and I had just a little scanner that could do, I think 9 by 12 was the biggest it could do, and I had to scan in pieces, so something this big wouldn't fit. So by having on 2 sheets, I could scan one and then scan the other and then stitch it together manually in Photoshop. I don't have to do that anymore, so I forgot that that was yet another reason why I did it with 2 sheets instead of getting larger paper. I'm doing my best to keep this lined up both in this way, but also really flush as much as possible. I'm also trying not to have overlap in the tape. Wow, you can barely even see anything because it's all white stuff, but try not to have overlap in the tape. That's way there's not too many bumps. Like there'd be a little bump right here from the edge of the tape, but hopefully it won't be too bad. But the more layering there is, the more bumps there'll be for your pen to go whoop whoop as you draw on the other side. Last bit of artist tape. Hopefully I didn't make it too long. Okay, here we go. We'll see. Woohoo! Not too long. Perfect. Okay, we can flip it back over. Wow, I gotta make my camera even higher because it's just, this paper is so big. Okay. I'll put my tape away. Now I need to create the bounding box. Oh, Sarah, you made it really early. Hello, how are you? Yay, so glad to see you. I saw a little preview of your message on my watch, but I was too busy to look at the full message. But I got the gist that you might not be able to make it until the second half, but you made it pretty early. So, unlike so many other things, I do not have a template for this square. But that's okay. There's still another way to make sure that you get the right size and those nice right angles. If I can get this clip off that's holding it. Oh, come on, clip. Come on. There, got it. A little clip off. Ah, you didn't know how bad traffic would be. I guess that means that it wasn't too bad then. I hope so. Okay, I'm gonna set this, hopefully this isn't, I keep bumping the mic with the stuff that I'm putting up here, but now I'm putting this previous piece up so that I can see these numbers like 12.75 by 8.25 inches. And I think that's actually all I need. I'm not sure if I need to divide this into threes. But first, let's get this on. So I also need a ruler. A big ruler. 12.75. I'll get my 18-inch ruler. Nice 18-inch ruler. The way I do this in order to make this centered, first I'm going to measure the length, and I'm going to start from the middle and measure out. So let's see. I will start. I'm thinking whether I want to use any graphite or just go ahead. Let's just go ahead with this. Let's go ahead with this blue pen. Oh, wow. That's lucky. The train was a-coming. So let's see. 8.25 is at 12.75. So we need 6 point, well, it's hard to divide that. It's right. 6.75. I'm gonna have to eyeball it. Okay, 6.75 is 12 point. So 6.75 is this. So the middle is what? Because it's not an even number, so it's hard to divide. This is 6.5. Dang, it's not as easy as I hoped it would be. But I've done this before. Just gotta remember. Flip my phone around. No, Duolingo, I'm not trying to go into you. Duolingo thinks I want to study. I already studied today. We'll see if this search works. It never works though. 0.75 divided in half is what I'm at. 0.75 divided in half. 0.375 is, so we're searching for what is 6.375 on a ruler. I'll put inch ruler. On an inch ruler. Oh, AI is very helpful here. if it'll focus. 6.375 inches is a measurement that appears on an inch ruler. Oh, wonderful. That's so useful. Let's see. Ooh, our illustration below shows 6.375 inches marked with a red pin. Okay, this might be what I need. Oh, excuse me. I'm yawning so much. Insert slow clap, Jim. I don't know how regular the trains are, but it jacks up traffic. Wow. We've got train tracks out here, but very rarely do trains come through. It's not like they don't come through, but it's not any regular thing. And it's definitely... I don't think we have passenger trains here because there's been a lot of talk over recent years about... Well, not even recent years, more like recent decades. Ever since I've been living here, people have been talking about how they want the passenger trains back, or they want a train between Mountain Home, which is sort of northeast of here, I think, and Boise, because so many people commute, and it's actually quite a long, and in winter, dangerous commute. But, you know, we don't have too much trouble here with trains blocking stuff up. Okay, looking at the table above, we can locate where the decimal part of 3.67... No, 6 point... I'm having a little bit of number dyslexia, I guess. 6.375 fits. Fits exactly on mark. Oh, so it does. Nice. Excellent. This has what each mark on the 16... Well, it's divided into 16 pieces, which means there are 15 marks because the marks are in between. And as you see, mark 6 is 0.375. So we just have to go, I mean, maybe you didn't see, but I wasn't going to wait for it to focus. So we just have to go 6 in. So that's cool. We're on 6 inches, and we just need to go 6 marks in, and that should be the halfway point. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay! We did it! We did it! Hooray! So I've got that lined up nice, as precise as I can get it, plus trying to keep it on an even keel with the edge of the paper. Now I'm going to put my... Wait, I won't do that yet. I have to take the pen cap off. Now I'm going to put pressure on the ruler so that it won't move, and I'm going to mark at 0 and at 12.75, which is way easier to determine. Whew! See, even in the arts you need math. Basic math, at least. I needed help, though. That's the thing. Even if I'll never know everything, and I'll never even remember everything that I ever knew. But I know how to find out what I don't know and what I used to know. And I think that's the most important skill. Being able to find out. As long as you can find out, you'll always be good. Alright, so we're moving 6 in. So we're doing the same measurement here on the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I almost had it. It's this one. Once again, lining it up as precisely as possible. So 12.75 and 0. Okay, the top and bottom are measured. Now we need to do the sides. Let's see how I can do this because it's hard to fit it in. But first, we need to measure what is the halfway point. So sorry if you can't really see this. It's kind of off. Maybe I can put it like this so you can see what I'm doing, because this might be helpful to someone out there somewhere. Now, between these... stop falling down paper, please. I know. Let me put this here. Oop. Trying not to bend the paper, just let it curve there. But there. So now between these two marks, well, actually, not between the marks. So using those marks, I'm going to measure what is the halfway point of this paper. So I'm lining up the 0 line with that edge on the left. And I'm also lining up the ruler with these 2 marks. So it's about, it's actually a tiny bit short, but it's about 11 inches, which means that it should be 5.5. So we're going to put a mark at 5.5. If I can do it. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bend it, make the creases. Actually, if I was a gallery artist, like a fine gallery artist, that would probably be the advice. It's stuff like that. The reason why I was like, yeah, I definitely like illustration. I don't like making so-called gallery art or avant-garde art or stuff that's pushing the envelope. I just want to tell stories. Like with gallery art, it would be something like, oh, go through all the steps that I usually go through to make a beautiful illustration. And then the art part is gather a bunch of people around you for this once-in-a-lifetime event where I burn it. Or just light it on fire, and that's the art. That's the kind of thing that gallery and avant-garde and cutting-edge stuff, not always, but so much that's what it is. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. That's not what I like. Okay. So I have determined what the halfway point is. It was easy to tell the halfway point here because we've got this seam where the 2 sheets of paper come together. But we have to figure it out for this edge. So now we can do the same thing. I know from here that we need to make this 8.25. Let's find out what that is in half. It should be 4 point something. I think it's 125. I think it's 4.125, but let's just do the actual calculation because I might be remembering wrong. So 8.25 divided by 2. No. I put times. 8.25 divided by 2. Ah, yeah, I remembered. 4.125. I gotta bookmark this site. No! Oh, it's an ad. Okay. This site has awesome... Maybe just take a screenshot of this. Because look, here's one. 0.125. So mark 2. Hooray! Makes no sense to me. Are you talking about the fancy gallery art style art? I can see why it's popular and why it's considered avant-garde and fresh and new and different and making a good point or whatever people think about it, but that doesn't mean I enjoy it. So even if I understand it, doesn't mean I enjoy it. So I'm now lining this up at the second mark here, 4 inches in the second mark. And I'm going to mark and do it relatively big compared to everything else so I know which one is which. But I'm going to mark at 0 and 8.25. So now we know this biggest line is where the actual corner should be. Because it's using both the longer measurement and the shorter measurement. So 4 and 2 marks. Lining it up as well as I can. Of course, if this isn't exactly precise, it's not going to be the end of the world. So even if it's a little short or a little long, you can always just crop it a bit. That's why it's important to design so that nothing will be lost if you have, say, a centimeter bleed edge or something like that. Alright, I'm done with this ruler. I'm just going to set it to my side for now. I know earlier I said, oh, it's easier to put it away. But right now it's not easier because I'm in the middle of thinking. Right now it's easier to stay in this thought process. So the key to making this precise shape that is not a standard paper size, the 12.75 by 8.25, making it the right length on all sides, but also getting that nice right angle, because it doesn't guarantee, even if you measure the sides correctly, it doesn't guarantee that you get the right angle, because your ruler might be off a little bit on one side and then it ends up being a little bit like this or whatever. So we're going to use this corner to do it. And so all I have to do is line up this final line, which I made longer so I knew which one I wanted. Actually, I'm going to do the one closer to me so I can see better. And I'm going to line it up with this little halfway point mark. That's why it was important to make that halfway point mark line up with these first marks that I made. So now we'll just make a line. We don't have to make the whole thing. This is about getting that angle in there, and then we can do this one. So let's do this for all the corners. So using this longest line, the one that I made look different so that I could tell. And that halfway point. We'll flip it over. Same thing on the other side. We don't even need these lines to meet. It's just creating the bounding box so I know how far to go. Let's actually do it this way this time. Alright, last one. Now you can use these lines as well on top of the points. Of course, it's way faster if I have just a template and I can just trace that, but this is the way you can do it. If you need a certain ratio, a certain size, you don't have a template. As long as you have a ruler and this corner. I don't remember what this corner is called. I just call it a corner. It's called something. It has a proper name. It's also a ruler. And it has circles on it too. Because it's an artist one. So if I need any really precise circles, this is a template for that as well. But I'm done with this, so I'm going to clip it back onto my pen holder. Whoop. And now I shall put this ruler away because well, you know what? Am I done with it? Ooh, let me check. Might not be done with it. If I need to divide my space. Oh yeah. I didn't use rule of thirds for designing this, so I won't worry about it. Just eyeball it and see what looks good. So I'm going to put this ruler away. Next, I'm going to copy what I did here, which is write things like what surface I used, the size that I made it. That way, this becomes a reference for next time. So what I used was my gray pen, which I think this one is gray. No, this one is black. This one is gray. Cool gray. So I'm just going to write the same stuff, surface. So I know what paper to use next time, what paper this is. Aqua Bee, manga. artist pad. I'll put 8. I didn't write this before because I know, but just in case, I'll put 8.5 by 11, and then it's 110 pound paper as well. Then ratio equals the final piece we want to be 17 by 11 inches, which means this drawing is 12.75 by 8.25 inches. So the next thing to take from this previous drawing is the actual inking tools I used. The thing is, I don't think I have full vibrant, not vibrant, but juicy. I don't have juicy versions of these pens anymore. They've gotten very dry and they're not very useful. So what I do have are some other ones that I've put in my sketch kit, my drawing kit. We'll see if these will work. If any of these will be a nice equivalent. So this zig, I think I wrote zig here. This is for very extremely tiny lines. Got that one. There's a Winsor and Newton I put. Is that this one? Yes, the black version. So I have that gray that I used for the bottom here. This is the black one. My thing is trying to fall down. I'm gonna clip it. I love these mini clips. I have so many of them. They're so useful. These little mini binder clips. I'm just gonna clip this paper so it doesn't keep falling down. Okay, so I think this and this are actually the same. We'll test it. But let's test first the pens that I chose as replacements. Let's see, this one seems like it might be the biggest. No, this one's not that big actually. What about this one? This might be the biggest one. Maybe this one's the biggest one. Let's try it. Oh yeah. This is even bigger. But this one is... I gotta write with something else. It's too big to write. Graph it. This one's the Graphit pen. Next biggest seemed to be this one. Oh yeah, nice and juicy. You can even tell that they were already getting dry. Maybe you can't tell. I'll pull this down so you can see better. This pen especially, but even this one has lots of dry brush effect going on because it was getting dry. And this one is nice and juicy. This one's a little bit on the edges, but overall the whole line seems much more robust than this one. And this one is bigger. So this is the Copic Multiliner SP, which I forgot was a refillable pen. I love the refillable ones because a little less waste. It's still waste because of the cartridge, and I do the special recycling program for it, but it's you're not having to throw out the whole pen. So this is the Copic. I'll just put Copic SP. It's SP and then BS stands for brush, I believe. I don't remember what SP stands for, but I think the next smallest will be this one. Test it. And this one is a really nice equivalent to here. And it's small enough I can just write. Well, it makes sense because it actually has the same, I don't know if you can tell, this top character. It means like very thin or something like that. It's the same character that I wrote here. But since these are all different brands, I'll just write the brand of this one? It's Sign Pen. Oh, this one's Kuretake. All right. So we've got a 4th brush pen this time. Wow. I forget I always put this little cap on it. Yeah, much smaller. Yeah, a little bit dry, but this is this Zig tiny brush pen. I do have a refill for this. This is also refillable. So last 2, Winsor & Newton. This is a fine liner, not a brush pen. So I'm doing all this not just to test it and make sure that I have close equivalents to the pens I had been using before, but so that next time I can see, just as I am seeing from this, what did I use and what do I have that's close. This is the Zig as well. Very tiny Zig. Sweet. Oh, the pens I had in there were close enough. Good job past me picking some pens. Alright, that means I'm done with all the cow stuff, so I'll put it back. Put my camera back up. So I've got all my sketches and the final drawing. I'll go back in here. I do it all the time. I even write in my planner. So at the end of the day in my planner, there's this little small area with 4 lines, and I decided last year for it to be a gratitude list. I would write 4 little things each day at the end of the day. I also added the rule later in the year that I can't write the same thing twice in a week because I would so often write like the same 4 things. I want to be grateful for a little bit more. Remember all the wonderful things I have in my life. But sometimes past self makes it onto the list. I am very grateful for everything that she did to get me to the point where I am now. Oh, Sketchy Dew is here. Well, that you're learning. Well, hopefully, present self learns a lesson from past self. But that's on present self to do. How are you? Thank you for joining me. Oh, it's so fun to have 2 people in the chat today. Yay! Hope you're well. Anything fun going on today? Did you just get off work again? I'm putting away this folder because I don't need it anymore today, I don't think. I've got controlled chaos here in my studio with all the mess, so putting stuff away when I'm done with it is the best way to keep it under control. Alright, I don't actually need these pens yet. I'm gonna put them away. I just wanted to verify what pens I had, whether I thought they were a good match, and I do think they're a good match, so now we can just put these away because I need my blue sketch pencil to start. So that's what we're going to do next. Blue sketch pencil. So it's a Pilot. Oh, the camera's so far up now. Pilot color NO. 0.7 millimeters in blue. And this will make it easy to remove the sketch digitally after the fact, so that I don't have to do any erasing. Organized clutter. That's what it is. I've got my lovely little piles. They're stacked all nice. Okay, trying to get this camera set so you can see what I'm working on. I guess I'll introduce what I am working on. I'm working on my Onomatopoeia bees, the next piece in my Onomatopoeia animals series. So I've reached a point where I've got a sketch that I like, got my 2 main character bees and the speech bubbles where I think they'll go nice. And then on the tracing paper, I added more bees and flowers, and I used my gray markers to tell what's the term? I can never remember my terms. Shades? It's not shades. Values. Tell the values. I want these ones to stand out the most, and then the flowers, of course, should be just supporting characters, not main characters, so they're lighter. So I'm now going to do my best to translate this into the final sketch. Oh, I just realized I do want something out of that. I want my sketches of the bees that I did, chibifying them so I don't forget the rules that I set up for myself. Because turning bees chibi is a lot harder than it sounds. They are naturally chibi proportions with a head as big as their body and giant eyes. So I just realized, yes, I actually do want my sketches and things from in here. Alright, getting those back out. So these are my thumbnail sketches. I don't need those anymore. And this is my... I did this in a different sketchbook because I forgot, oh, this sketchbook doesn't have perforated pages, so I can't pull them out. So I just made a quick photocopy of my brainstorming, my initial brainstorming. So here we go. This was the key. Start each bee as a bean. That's how you make them cute chibi version. You gotta make them bean shaped. And then you just add the limbs and stuff on. So this one I definitely want to keep out. This is just a sketch. So E, sketch of B. Oh! This one's useful. I even put a little tab on it. I mapped out their wings. So I've got the top wing and the bottom wing, and generally the amount of segments they are and how they branch off. So we'll keep that one out. This is the first one I did. But I don't think we need it because we already did it again here. So it's the same kind of thing. I mean, I made notes about how it goes in and out, but that's visible here too. Oh, and this was the sketches leading up to those. Here's some more sketches just of the bees. Here's where I realized it needs to be bean shaped. So often what we learn to draw bees as is this kind of shape. But they actually fly like this with their little booties hanging down like a bean. Alright. So I've got the 2 out that I need. I'll allow that. I said it myself. It's definitely going to be allowed. Sad booty. Not sad. It's just relaxed. Relaxed booty. So this was my favorite chibification. Made the body real big and round, and just a huge bean shape. And then put on the legs, and the legs are a lot smaller than they should be. Let's see where I can set this stuff. It'd be cool if I could get it all set up like this. Aoife's snoring again. Yeah, I hear you talk. Yeah, that's my Aoife girl. She's just snoring away. Having a sip of my yummy tea. It's like peach white tea, I think, is the flavor. It's delicious. It's my favorite loose leaf tea. I love the loose leaf tea. It's the best. It tastes so good. Don't need any sugar or nothing. Just plain. So yummy. Alrighty. I just realized the tough thing is all of my sketches take a look at these. Only one of these on this sheet is from the top. This is from the side, from the front, also from the front, from the side, the other side. I need them to be from the top because we're viewing them from the top. At least I got this one. This looks pretty cute, actually. You just pop that right in there and it'll be perfect. But actually, I think we won't even see the legs. Now that I'm thinking about it. But there is a solution to this lack of information. We will go to iNaturalist to start. I love iNaturalist. I really recommend it. It's www.inaturalist.org. So the letter I and then naturalist.org. It's got tons and tons of photos, user-submitted photos, and they're organized by what living thing it is, because it could be an animal, it could be plant, it could be mushroom. And then you can even go so far as to sort by location, so you can see pictures of ones that are near you or in a certain place. Let's see. Oh! They have an app! That's awesome! I didn't know they have an app. I found iNaturalist originally because you can help people identify what living thing it is, or submit your own. And I've done that before, and I learned, oh, these flowers in my backyard are hollyhocks. I had never seen them before. I'm like, what are these huge flowers? They're like 8 feet tall. They're growing so tall, and they're so tall they're like falling over. And all this I found out, oh, they're hollyhocks. That's cool. So I love iNaturalist because of that. And also because it's a great resource if you need to see what a certain animal looks like. Or a certain plant, or whatever it is. So I'm going to search Hunt's bumblebee. That's one of the common names of the bee. Maybe it wants Hunt's bumble. It says nothing found, which makes no sense. So maybe it's Hunt's bumble space bee. I've looked here before. Yes, it did. It wanted the space in between bumble and bee. To me, it's one word. Bumblebee is one word in my brain. Suddenly, huge mystery flowers appear. That's what was happening. Because we moved in spring, so things were only just barely coming back to life. And then all this stuff was growing. The people who we bought this house from loved plants. And so all this stuff is growing. Like, I don't even know what any of this is. I recognize, like, the roses. And this, yeah, they just kept growing and growing and growing, and they're huge. That space should not be a requirement, even if not technically correct. Yeah, it's just the way their search is set up. It's okay, though. I figured it out. These are my favorite bumblebee. That's why I picked them, because they're so cute. They're just so cute. Here's a nice one. I'll show you this one. It's from the side, though. It's not what I'm looking for. Ah, the lamp is... Focus on this cute bee, please. Well, sort of. You can sort of see. If I make it really close. Does not want to focus. Anyway, you can look them up. Search Hunt's bumblebee, with or without the space. Alright, what I'm looking for is views of the bumblebee from straight above. Flying if possible, but if not possible, that's okay. We can just use our imagination for the wings. I realized that we might not even need this wings map that I created. Because if they're all flying... Oh, they're not all flying. Okay. I'm looking at my thumbnail. This one's landed. And this one is too. So we've got some landed, most flying though, because it's going to be just filled with this onomatopoeia sound. Which, by the way, is very similar to English. In English we say buzz, buzz. In Japanese it's boon, boon. It makes sense though, because the sound is the same. The sound does not matter to the bee. We humans are the ones making up the language representation of the sound. But sometimes it's quite different. Not with the bees, though. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. Here's one. It's a little bit from the back. But we're getting the idea. Here's one where the bee is, well, it might be perished, but the bee is still and straight from behind. I said it might be perished because it, in the next picture, is just sort of on its side. So I think that's probably not good news for the bee. There's one on a flower. Another one on a flower. Oh, this one's great. It's a little blurry, but I'm zoomed in real close. Ah! I guess I clicked on it by accident. Okay. Zoomed in real close. You can actually see the wings in motion, and it's really, you can't get much more from above. And like I thought, you can't really see the legs because they're underneath. Though this looks like maybe the back legs are tucked underneath and sticking out the back. That's so cute if that's the case. You can see the antennas here. So what I'll do, so this has the front part of the face sticking out, and you can see the little edge of the eyes right there. I'm just going to make it one big circle because that'll be cuter and more chibi. And all of these animal illustrations are in chibi form. You'd think it would make sense, and yet cats say different things in different languages. Yeah. And even in English, we have multiple sounds that we say for cat, like meow or mew or purr. And in Japanese, it's the same, so there's like nya, but there's also goro goro, which is purr, and there's probably more, because there's like nya and there's nyan, and goro goro, and there's probably other ones too. Yep. People might want to know what they are, even if they are no longer alive. It's just sad to see, though. Oh, so fluffy. These bees are so cute. And they live here. That's why I chose them. They live here, and I am so happy when I get to see them in the late spring. Definitely in the summer when it's hot. They love to come out because bees and other insects generally, there might be exceptions, but generally they need the warmth in order to move. And so a lot of them will have to shake their wings really fast for a while to heat themselves up. But that kind of sucks because then they're using all that energy just to get warm enough to go get food. So in the summer they're really out, and you can see them. See them all over the place, all over the flowers, and they're so cute. So scanning through, looking for this might be the best one though. It's coming in for a landing. Oh wow, I just realized that this fellow has a huge pollen collection. In researching these bees, I found out that they have, I can't remember what it was called, but they collect pollen on their back legs, and you can see how much pollen this one has collected. It's gotten huge. Let's just use this one to get going. Haha, no. Sketchy, do you ever watch a video of what scientists think some dinosaurs sounded like? I don't think I have. I mean, maybe I have. Yeah, meow is the way that's different. That might be French. And I have a feeling that I have not checked it. But Sarah, you gave me these pens a long time ago. And it says noun. I feel like that's probably a cat sound in whatever language this is. Oh, it says Korea on the back. And all of these pens say noun. So I feel like that's likely because it just sounds like cat sound. Here's another one just to show. Noun. Sounds like cat sound to me. Oh man, it's time for break time. 5 minutes after break time, and my main camera doesn't want to focus. Okay, main camera, stay focused. Doesn't matter because I'm going to put my be right back sign up anyway. All right, y'all, let's take a break. Get up, walk around if you can, stretch, look outside, look off into the distance. Get a snack and a drink, whatever you need to feel refreshed. I'm going to put my be right back sign on, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Hello everyone, I'm back. I hope you had a great break. I did as usual. Had a nice stretch. Had some of my delicious juice shake. My lovely little chia seeds. I love the chia seeds in there because as I make it the night before, so they have plenty of time to plump up. So they're like little itty bitty teeny tiny bulbas. So it's not just delicious and nutritious, but fun. Fun to eat. Okay. No more delaying. Let's start drawing. So I have both of my bees facing down in this sketch. Both of my main bees. I've got lots of bees going in all kinds of directions. And in fact, that's why I did this. One of the many reasons I did this, so that I could see, oh, well, we have some going this way and some going this way. And so lots of different directions. So it would feel organic, but also feel balanced. Oh, you sent me a link to that video. I will watch it after this stream and see what the see what the dinosaurs might have sounded like. Does it have, my favorite is the Parasaurolophus, I think is what it's called. I can't remember if it's just called Parasaur or if it's called Parasaurolophus or if it's called both. It is just confusing. But it's the one with the long horn on it. And so many people think that they use that to make sounds. Does it have that one in there? That's the one I would be most interested to hear. Okay, I'm actually going to turn this upside down for drawing this bee. Because the reference image I'm looking at is facing this way. So to make it easier on myself, I'm just going to turn the page so that when it's done, it will be going down from the viewer's point of view. But then I don't have to think as hard as I'm drawing this chibi version of this already chibi bee. So the size is maybe, it's not half of the page. Maybe a third-ish of the page. And this one's relatively high, so I gotta remember, this is the top. And it's closer to the gutter than to the edge. Oh, let's see. Velociraptor, Utah raptor, Dryptosaurus, Tyrannosaurus rex, Triceratops, Elasmosaurus, Mosasaurus, Quetzalcoatlus, Spinosaurus egypticus. Oh, okay. Those are still cool, though. The Quetzalcoatlus. I feel like that's one of the kinds with a really long head. Like one of the flying ones with a really long head. How do they make the sound guesses? Yeah, Sketchy, tell us. Of course, we probably just need to watch the video. You can put the link in the chat if you want. I don't have links blocked. As long as there's nothing not family friendly. I try to keep my stream family friendly. But I can't imagine there's anything terribly wrong in such a video. Terribly offensive. Unless you're just so in love with the Jurassic Park version, which has no scientific basis. They just threw a bunch of animal sounds together because it sounded cool. And actually, I'm pretty sure the Tyrannosaurus rex was all herbivore animals. They put together all herbivore animals for this extremely carnivorous animal sound. I could be remembering that tidbit wrong, but I feel like I heard that because it was so amusing. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, y'all, you can get a jump on me and see what the dinosaurs might have sounded like. These specific ones. Doesn't have my fave. Doesn't have a fave. Elephant mixed with a lion. Ah. Oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the velociraptors, actually. False canon. Well, I think what it is that what I love about science is that it is always changing. Of course, there are problems in the scientific community. So many people treat science as gospel, and a certain study will come out, and then will refuse to believe anything that comes out later. But in principle, science is always about finding new information. And if the new information proves the old information or the old hypothesis wrong, the old hypothesis goes away. And the new one is the new best knowledge that we have. So I think it's more like people don't want to let it go because it's such a cool story. And so being told, well, they weren't actually like this. But even in Jurassic Park, I remember watching, I think it was a making of documentary or some extras thing for Jurassic Park. And the animators for the Velociraptors had originally used old style depictions of dinosaurs from really old movies. You know, those old claymation dinosaur movies. They had given them slithery snake tongues. And then the scientists they were working with to like fact check their production was like, no, dinosaurs wouldn't have slithery snake tongues. That's not what they are. And so they had to take that out. And so they actually had video of the original animation with the slithery snake velociraptor and then after. Yeah, the velociraptor's way too big. They used the body of it might have been the Utah raptor actually. They called it Velociraptor, and I think it's because it sounded cooler. But actual Velociraptor, the scientific one that we as the human species have called Velociraptor, I think it was like the size of a dog or something. I don't remember everything though, so you guys can check this. This is what I remember. It's not necessarily what's actually happened, but. Yeah. They based it off a different raptor, got everyone all twisted around as what to be accurate. I still love Jurassic Park though. No matter what, it's such a great movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever since it came out. I think I was 7 when it came out, and I was obsessed. I already was obsessed with dinosaurs, and then this movie came out. This is the best movie ever made. That might be the first movie where I was like, into that might be the starting point of me becoming an otaku, because I needed all the merch. I remember I had this little like pencil case, and I still have this little Dilophosaurus little plushie. I still have my Jurassic Park collectible trading card collection and all this stuff. I'm not drawing enough. I'm having way too good of a time chatting with y'all. Let's draw some more. So the little areas of fuzziness that cover the wings as actually in a heart shape in this picture. So I'm actually going to take that because that makes it even cuter. So I'm going to draw this heart shape for the part of the body where the wings attach. This actually might be right under that, but there's a black band above that that's not fuzzy. So we've got this fuzzy heart, and then we've got this black band, and then there's another bit of fuzzy, which is supposed to be... So this is that heart shape. This is the black band. Here's the fuzzy, and then the head, and we've got the fuzzy on the top of the head too. So, got a fuzzy, fuzzy, fuzzy. So might not even show the eyes on this one, because the eyes will be looking down, I think, at the flowers below. So we're just going to have the fuzzy. We'll call it the neck. And then the black band, and then the hearts. The heart, fuzzy heart. Oh, the camera wasn't focusing. Sorry about that. It really struggles with this when I'm drawing with really white paper. I mean, I was drawing with white paper. There we go. You can't even really see what I'm drawing. Don't understand this camera. It's supposed to be top of the line, state of the art. But everything is automatic and it doesn't actually work that well consistently. You'll have to bear with me until I get more colored pencil onto the page, and then hopefully you can see it better. Yeah, so right, exactly. So state of the art that it has a mind of its own. Precisely. Ah. Okay, so the stripes on the body. We won't see them all because, again, the bean shape means that we're not seeing the head just because it's arc. So we're not seeing the head. We also won't see the bottom of the tail. But looking at the reference, what I can see is a yellow stripe, 2 orange stripes, and a yellow stripe. And if I remember correctly, that means there's only 1 stripe left and it's black. So we're seeing most of them. So here's the yellow one. And they curve up, kind of like a stylized kitty mouth. They curve up too. So there's the yellow one and one of the orange ones. And I'll make this much fuzzier later. For now, I'm just drawing the lines straight so that I can see just where should they be. And here's the last orange one. It's that curve is getting more subdued. And then finally, the one at the bottom. But even with the head curved over like this, we can still see the antenna, and that also helps this be identifiable as a bee. So we'll draw the antenna sticking out. Won't see the whole thing though, because again, it's curved under, so some of the antenna will be covered by this upper part. We'll just stick them out like this, I think, so they're just exploring the air. And the antenna were, let's see, I have the foot, general leg composition. I mapped that out, but I did not, I mapped it somewhere. Let's see. The antenna, how many sections? Oh, here it is. So I want to see this too. So there's 10 segments here is what I wrote. It doesn't matter too much because we're covering most of this up with the head. Oh, you can't even see. with the neck, actually. The head's being covered up with the neck. But I want to make sure not to add too many segments. So it should be 10 max. All right, that's good. I have so many things to look at. I was confused about what I should look at next. I am going to look at another reference image. I want to see if maybe I should have at least a little indication of the legs, even if we can't see the whole leg. Let's see. It helps if they can be in flight because the way the legs will be splayed out if the bee is landed. So being able to see the bee in flight from above, I'm specifically looking for that now to see what they do with their legs. Whether they should be visible at all. And also taking into consideration that I'm chibifying these, which always entails making the legs smaller. So even if I can't find what I'm looking for, it might be best just to not show the legs for the flying ones, because Chibifying it would mean that it's too small to be seen anyway from this angle. Oh, someone's here.
Hutchins, is it the entryway doorbell?
Probably not. I mean, it might be. So often the Google doorbell thinks that it's someone that we've put into our library of people, and it's not. And sometimes it'll say that I'm at the door. I'm like, oh. Well, whoever it is, they're just gonna have to wait. I'm busy. I'm working. Sorry, not like, I'll show you something. Show you something so it's not totally boring visually. And I'm just scrolling and scrolling. Has the auto load, so when I get to the bottom, there's more. There's actually not that many. Oh, look how cute. Look, you can see how big they are. They're just on somebody's ring finger. They're so big and cute. This person's holding them. They're also, as you can see, quite gentle. I mean, of course, if you mess with them, I wouldn't be surprised if they sting you, but... Me from the future? Ooh, that's kind of creepy. Unless it's me from the future giving me advice to make things even better for ourselves. Ah, this one is not from above. But, you can see the legs actually hang down. At least in this instance. So I think I won't show any legs. Okay. Figured that out. With an eye patch! I'll be too distracted trying to learn the story of what happened to get the wonderful advice that future me would be trying to deliver. Shaking up my chia seed juice shake. Gonna have some more sips. Right, let's turn this around real quick, although I know you can't see because my camera is suddenly... Oh, look, it changed. What if I hold it up? There you can see I have drawn something. It's very hard for you to see it, but it is there. So I'm just turning this over, even though I know you can't see it very well because of the dang camera. Also, it's not the camera's fault. This is blue, light blue, purposefully chosen to be hard to detect by technology. That's the whole point of these blue colors. That's why it's easy to get rid of it. Either through, there's two methods, and I have actually done a tutorial video on my YouTube channel for one of them, which is using just a photocopier, and it will get rid of the blue because it can't copy it. It just can't see it, and then all you'll have left is your black lines. Or using Photoshop, which there's plenty of examples of that on my previous streams. Recordings. So I'm just looking at, what is this coming out as? I kind of feel like I need to move it. I did all this drawing and it's too far over. There's not room for the speech bubble. Of course I could make the speech bubble smaller, but I'd like it not to get cut off. I'm trying to leave maybe 1/2 inch of bleed. Let's see, I don't know if this is in inches, but I've got a little ruler. No, it's not in inches, but it's... Okay, Google, what's 1/2 inch in centimeters?
0.5 inches is equal to 1.27 centimeters.
So it's less than 1.5 centimeters, so I'm just going to make a mark right here. And and right here. Very light. Yeah, there's not much room. I need to shift it over so that there's room for the speech bubble. Or else the speech bubble is going to be really small, which I don't want it to be very small. These are our main characters. They should have plenty of room to speak. So we need to shift it to the left and down. I'm just going to draw the line for it. And yes, we're going to erase. Oh, we're going to erase it. I don't like having to do it, but it's for the overall good of the illustration. Plus, if I drew it once, I can draw it again, and it might be better because I practiced. Goodbye, first bee. You're a good practice bee. Ugh. It doesn't just make a jarring sound when it gets caught on the paper like that. It just sends this like vibration through my fingers, and I'm like, ugh. I'm going to draw it right side up for just a general shape, and then I'll turn it upside down again. Bean-shaped bee. Bean-shaped bee. It's actually more lozenge shape, though, from above, but still. It had to be. It had to be. It's so hard to draw bees, and then you become really aware of every time you say the word bee. I don't know what kind of word bee is. A verb. Yes. Bee is a verb. But bee is an animal. It's a noun. And you start to become hyper aware of every time you say one, even though you mean the other, or whatever, because the sound is the same, because they're homonyms. Alright, got that cute heart shape. And the yellow band. Two orange bands, that little uppy curve in the middle, and the uppy curve gets less pronounced as you go farther down the body. This bottom part is the yellow, another yellow band. Okay. And then we've got, does the black band start immediately after? It looks like it does. So then we've got the black band, which is not fuzzy. And then another yellow band, which is the neck. Then our antennae are coming back. And these segments are a great way to add shape because we can use a curved line to show that they're not flat. Yay! Now the only thing I haven't decided, maybe I will do it with digital media, is how to depict the flying wings. So here's a great example of what they look like in photography. It's a blur. So rather than inking it, I think it might be better to just leave them and add them digitally as a swatch of color, because all the coloring is going to be done digitally for this piece. That's how they've all been done so far. Oh, I'm just scrolling through looking for some more flying pics just to make sure. Yeah, this one you can't even, there's just barely any indication that there are wings at all. Just the tiniest little shoo, 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 shoo. Right here and right here. So yeah, let's not even draw the wings. Ah, I went all the way out of the gallery. No! Now I gotta scroll back down to where it was. Gotta find my bee reference. My flying bee reference. Well, it's probably for the best that I find something else. That way these two bees won't look the same. So we need another one over here next. So many of them are from behind, though, instead of from above. I guess I could just look for, are there any differences in shape? You know, if they're turning, maybe can you see that little bit of a turn? They're so fuzzy, though. I don't really see that. I think they just turn their whole body. I don't think they turn their head as much. Not saying they don't turn their head, but in these photos, it always seems to be straight. Here's some more pictures on someone's hand. It's a cute little bee. This is a small one compared to the other one. Oh, here's one. Yay. That's a good one. Is this one. So we have slightly different look for the second bee. So we'll be able to see that final black band at the end and the little point maybe where the stinger is. I don't know for sure that these ones have stingers, but why not? Why wouldn't they have stingers? They gotta protect themselves just as much as any other bee. Oh, I can also draw my speech bubble. Well, it's not going to be the final speech bubble. It's just a placeholder. But I've got this little corner that I made so I can tell where I want it so that it won't be cut off when it's printed. Yes, and the size looks good too. And I wanted the tail of the speech bubble to point at the wings, not at the face, because we expect the sound to be coming from the face, because that's mostly what mammal sounds tend to come from our faces, but in the case of the bees, it's coming from their wings. So this is great because I've got the space to do that, and we'll still be able to have the wings here buzzing. Maybe even the wing will buzz above the speech bubble. We'll figure that out later though. Now it's time to draw the second bee, which is even lower than this one and turned the other way. Because the speech bubble for this one's going to be up here. And it's great because even if they're slightly different sizes, we can just say one is closer to the viewer. So I don't have to worry too much about relative size. Okay, I've got my lozenge shape. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. Sketched a lot in the middle. And look at my reference image. I'm actually going to turn it this way so that it's the same angle as the reference. And again, we have that cute heart shape where the wings are. Cute fuzzy heart shape. The black band. Although actually, I realize this one should be curving into the heart, not curving all the way around the body, and then it's fuzzy all the way around the body. Okay. Let me fix this. Wait, I'll just use this eraser on the end of my pencil. There. Picking up the eraser pieces with the eraser. And then I can take those and put them in the trash. So disappointing, camera. Sorry about how you can't really see anything. I can see it fine with my naked eye, and then I look over at OBS over there, and it's just almost nothing. You can see almost nothing. It's just even more reason for me to work hard, get this sketch done so that I can move on to something that you can see. Alright, line number 1, yellow fuzzies. Band number 1. And this bee's, I'm actually going to move it up. This bee's band number 1 is actually under the heart. The heart part. The heart part, heart-shaped area. It's so elegant. I feel like I'm drawing like a Sailor Moon design or something. Alright. 2 orange bands. That's really what, to me, is the defining characteristic of the Hunt's bumblebee, is the 2 orange bands, because so many of the bumblebees have these bands, but this is one of very few that has yellow, black, and these 2 distinctive orange ones. Here's the final yellow band, and then the black area, and it's got the little point for the stinger, or whatever. It's definitely got a little point to it, either way. So put that on there. Just gonna round these edges where the fluffy should be. Oh, this looks so cute. Looks so cute! Yay! Okay, got this part curves in here, and then we've got that other curve coming up here. And we'll say we can see this one's head a little bit, that they're not curving over in that bean shape quite as much. Just seeing this extra yellow part. This actually makes me want to change. Oh, I did it already. Okay. Sweet. thought I hadn't done the sides sort of pinching in next to the heart, but I had done it on this bee. So I'm a second bee. Oh no, don't fall down. You stay up. You stay up. Thank you. We need some antenna on this one. And since we can see a little of the head, let's show a little of the joints. Their antenna comes from straight in the middle of their face, in between the eyes. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I did 8, so we're going to try to make it 8 over here too. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's not the same as what they naturally have, but it's the same from one antenna to the other, and that's, I think, the more important point. Excellent. So we have 2 different looking bees, which is good. I didn't want it to just look like a carbon copy of one bee on one page and one bee on the other page. But I still think they look like they're the same species. So I'm checking all the boxes. Yay! So next, we'll add the speech bubble for this one. Maybe right about here. And tail of the speech bubble pointing at the wings. We'll be making the speech bubble completely separately in Clip Studio Paint, but these are on the sketch so that I don't bother drawing anything where they are because it's just a waste of time. Waste of time and materials. Wow! So it's time to add, I wonder if I should go I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. What I have next to draw are the supporting character bees, which we need plenty of. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. Oh, there's so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 supporting bees. And there are tons of flowers as well, which is supporting the bees. So the supporting bees are supporting these bees and supporting all of the sound that I want them to be making. So should I draw the flowers first and then draw the bees on top? Or should I draw the bees first and then add the flowers? I'm debating it because if I draw the bees first, that will save me time. Maybe. Because I won't be drawing flowers and then erasing away where the bees are landing. But on the other hand, if I draw the flowers first, the logic makes more sense about how the bee should be. So I might end up actually saving time that way because I'm not having to redraw bees because they don't make sense with the flowers because I drew the flowers after the fact. So there's pros and cons to either one. Depends on what would be easiest. Yeah, I definitely want to make it easiest. And it kind of feels like drawing the flowers would be easiest because then I have the logic of the environment to rely on. And then adding the bees to the flowers. Because some of the bees are landed, most of them are flying. But even having them flying, it should still make sense with all of the plant material that's filling the space. Yeah, let's just draw flowers first. Let's see. See if iNaturalist has a thistles. search thistle. There's probably multiple kinds. Thistles and allies. Thistles and burdocks. Plume thistles. Bull thistle. Native throughout most of Europe. I'm gonna search what kind of thistles are here, because these bees are here, so I want the plant to match. I'm searching thistle Idaho species. Yeah. It's so true. Residual will be non-issue. Non-issue. But I love drawing the main lines in physical media. Even with questions like this. Scotch thistle. Oh, it's an invasive species though. So is musk thistle. I guess they're all invasive species. Oh, wow, there's a lot of them. There's Turkish thistle, plumeless thistle, musk thistle, Scotch thistle. Bull thistle. Is this a native? Okay, I'm going to have to search native species. So the other ones are here, but it makes it easier if I can just pick Canada thistle. Maybe I should just pick which one looks best. There's so many. Oh, Chappie just knocked her bone off of her bed and it made a sound. Why did it go all the way out of my search? What the heck? I wanted to just go back to all. IdahoFishAndGame.org. Let's see. This actually doesn't have very much information. Endemic, no. We've heard that. Invasive species of Idaho. Invasivespecies.idaho.gov. Scotch thistle. Wow, it gets huge. There's a picture of a dude here, and it's like 3 feet above him. Canada thistle. Invasive weed in almost every state, including Idaho. I don't really like that term, but because there's no species more invasive than the people calling it an invasive species, if you know what I mean. So, oh, here's one. Think twice before killing those thistles. Thistle identification. Maybe this will show a native Idaho one. Native thistles are important. Few leaf thistle. Okay, well, which ones are native? Ah, sweet. This is what I wanted. A list of native Idaho thistles. Ooh, edible thistle. Wavy leaf thistle. That one might be nice because it's white, and then that won't compete with my bees, which for this series, all the animals are rainbow. They're each a color of the rainbow. Not necessarily red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, but, you know, all different wild colors. And the thistle flowers are often purple or pink, but this wavy leaf thistle looks like a pinkish white, so that won't compete as much. Wavy leaf thistle. Okay, I'm going to copy this and search this. Go back to iNaturalist. We'll see if we can find it on here. Cirsium undulatum. How are we already almost out of time? There's only 4 minutes left. What? Wavy leaf thistle. Here we go. Hooray! iNaturalist has a whole page. Oh, it has pink one. It has pink ones too. Look at it. Has a wide variety. Oh, it has my keyboard still up. It's got the more purpley. Oh, I'm not showing you it. It's got the more purpley ones, but then it also has white. So it must be a range. Oh, what a beautiful picture. Look at this beautiful picture. So pretty. Oh! Oh, look! With a bumblebee on it. Proof. Proof that it is indeed. It wasn't just written somewhere and I believed it. There's visual proof. Oh, wow. Their leaves really are amazing. Look at that. It doesn't want to focus. But oh, there you go. Woo, 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 woo. That's cool. Yeah, we're going to use wavy leaf thistle. I'm going to write this down because we're almost out of time, so I don't want to forget. I don't want to write with black, though, because that's visually distracting for me. Writing with gray means I can read it, but it's not distracting me from my main work. What was the Latin name? Cirsium. So I have these notes for next time when I come back. Undulatum. Okay. Proof! Proof that the bumblebees love the thistles. Or at least they visit them. I can't tell if they love them or not, but there's a bumblebee right on there. Yeah. Here's a bunch of bugs on this one. But I'm not seeing any so far that's really like straight down on the flowers, and it's probably because all the looking straight down ones. Oh, here's one, but the flower's not open. But this is a great one, so there's straight down. But it's kind of proving the point I was thinking, is that by the time it gets big enough to have open flowers, it's hard to take a picture from above. But I can use... Oh, here's one, here's one. Someone got it. Oh, yay! Awesome. Well, I will just leave this page up so that I can come back to it next time I work on this. It is time to call it a day. Maybe they land on them to punch them. Maybe they got beef with Thistle. Like, haha, thistles, take that! There's a little war between the bees and the thistles. Ooh, crazy. Well, we'll see if it'll show you. If I hold it at an angle, you can see what I worked on. Little review. Since you couldn't see it all stream of what I got done today, which is pretty good, I think. I got the two main bees in the scene with their speech bubbles. And I got the square all mapped out nice so that it's not just the right angles and the correct size, but it's centered on the page as well. And I've got all my notes here for next time. But we are at time. So that's it for today. Let's see if anybody's streaming and we can go raid them and have fun at somebody else's art channel. Let's see. I'm going to click following. Oh, just Freebird hasn't actually started yet. All right. So of the two people that we have available, Margot Simone Art is the one that we haven't rated most recently. So let's go see what she's up to. It says a rusty robot sketch and paint. It also says more, but I can't see any more of the title than that. Any work done is good work done. Oh, thank you. Yay! Slowly but surely making progress on this. I'm at the point where I'm feeling very antsy, like it's not going fast enough, but a little bit at a time and it'll be done before I know it. So I'm going to, if my mouse cursor will show up, there it is. I'm going to open a new Twitch tab. Also, I need my keyboard. Move all this stuff down. Wow. Get my keyboard out. And I will gently pull this up and move the camera back. So you're seeing a more interesting thing than my keyboard. This keyboard's not interesting to look at. Oh, thank you, Sketchy. You too. I'm so glad that I could have some people to chat with today. It's always the best when I've got chatters. Let's see. /raid. Margot Simone Art. Make sure I spelled it right. Margot Simone Art. Alright, so I will be back tomorrow with Chibi Friday. We'll be finishing up Sketchy's Chibi gift OC. She's hanging up on my pegboard over there. Not pegboard, on my corkboard. Anyway, we'll be finishing that up tomorrow. Same time as usual. You can check my schedule on Twitch to see my stream times in your local time. But that's it for me today. I'm going to start the raid, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Alright, the raid has succeeded. So if you are here still with me on my channel or watching the recording on YouTube, that's it for me. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. I hope to see you then. Thank you for watching.